Welcome back to the 60th episode of the Box Office Dynasty podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Jack.
I'm Josh.
And we got a big fat episode for you ladies and gents tonight. Probably gents, mostly gents. I think 90% gents. We are going to go over the box office numbers as usual. We got a lot of news with that, a lot of news with upcoming movies, and just so much news that we're going to talk about right at the beginning. But stick around for Disclosure Day review, the newest Spielberg movie. We're going to also be doing our top 10 favorite Spielberg movies, so that's going to be a lot of fun. We both finished up Spider-Noir. Going to give a quick review about that, and then you're going to do a review on Hacks Season 4 and the show as a whole.
Season 5
and the show as a whole. That's the final season. How are you doing, buddy boy?
I'm good. First of all, I just want to say, according to the Spotify analytics, actually nearly just under 24% of our audience is female.
They come for the sexual, we give off some sexual, what's it called when you're like just hot?
Charisma?
Yeah, but it's like sexual energy
aura,
or something.
Energy?
Yeah,
big dick energy?
Yeah, no, I can't say
that. That is not the
myself.
direction I was going to take it in. I was going to shout out my friend Sid because I know she listens.
She can't be 24%. There's no way.
No. But then again, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
But
good call though.
No, there's guy. I'm sure we got our fans. No, it's going to be a fun episode. But to be honest with you, like everything that is going on in this episode was the absolute. And it may not seem like it may seem I'm exaggerating. It was the bare minimum of like things that I could watch this week because, as you could tell if you're looking at me,
you're merched
the
up.
New York Knicks are world champions. They won. They beat the San Antonio Spurs.
Knicks in 5.
In 5. All 4 wins were from behind. And what an incredible team. I was in the city with our friend Matt, friend of the show. And we went to Muses on 35th, and it was absolutely insane. Just like having that experience in this crowd of people in the heart of it, where it was like, oh my God, this team. And I'm sure you saw even a little bit towards the end there that like this team is just never down for the count.
Yeah, the comeback is so crazy. And in the last game too, it's the last 2 games, the comeback is insane. Like they're becoming a second half team, baby.
Yeah, and I mean Jalen Brunson, right? Jalen fucking Brunson, 45 points. The rest of the Knicks scored 49. 45 points Brunson scored in a title clinching game. I mean, this is like one of the most incredible teams. You know me, I'm a big sports guy, and I've watched a lot of sports. This is one of the most incredible teams I have ever seen. It has really propelled me. I've never been a huge basketball guy. I like the sport. I don't hate the sport. I don't love watching the NBA. I've always liked the Knicks, but like kind of from afar. It wasn't really
you're kind of like you're in your grandfather into it, right? Like you're from Jersey. You gotta like the Knicks.
Yeah, kind of. You know what I mean? And it was like if it was the Knicks or the Nets, I was like, well, it's the Knicks.
Who the fuck's picking the Nets?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nobody. Clearly. And that's the other thing is like, I also think I just got swept up in the whole kind of like energy surrounding it, which I think a lot of people did too.
Yeah.
It was just such a like the reason why I even am spending any time on this film podcast, bringing it up is just to highlight to everyone the importance of community. You know what I mean? And I think that's what we got from something like this. Like it just brought people together in joy and celebration in a way that I personally have never seen the likes of it from sports when I was out there the night they won.
Yeah, like you physically saw it. You were actually there. I've just been seeing videos and stuff.
Well, so had I until then. And then Matt and I were like, this would be such a cool thing to potentially experience. It's a Saturday night. Let's go. So we went in and it ended up, and they were down, and I was like, oh boy, we got to get the fuck out of here if they lose.
Yeah.
But then they won, and everyone just like rushed to the streets from all the places across the city, and everyone just rushed to the streets and celebrated across the whole city. It was beautiful. Like,
dude,
it was
New York
just
City
so
looked
cool.
like fucking Gotham City, bro. Like,
it was awesome.
Most of people.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it straight up turned into a mosh pit at one point
Any
in
poor
Midtown.
person wearing a Spurs jersey immediately killed. Like,
I saw
insane.
one video. I didn't see anyone wearing one, but I saw a video of one guy in a Spurs jersey trying to take on like a whole group of Knicks fans.
I saw that. I saw a Five Guys worker. So we condone it. We love that there's community. We love that everyone's celebrating. And fuck
Oh
it, go
yeah,
crazy in the streets. But if you're a lunatic psycho who's gonna hurt somebody because they like the opposing team, you don't deserve to be a Knicks fan. You don't deserve to be a Spurs fan. You don't deserve to watch the sport. Like, you're a psycho if you're gonna hurt someone just because they like the other team. It's not that deep. I saw a video of a guy at Five Guys, a worker, and he was a Spurs fan, but it was in New York City, and it was after game 3 or 4 or whatever. And people are throwing chairs at him. They're pulling him out from behind the counter. Like, a group of like 10 dudes versus one. Like, you're a pussy. Like, you're a pussy if you're 10v1ing a guy because he likes a different team. But
yeah. No,
but
I
storm the streets,
agree.
dude. I think that's so funny. That is community.
I agree, dude. Like to have like violence and to utilize this run for the that the Knicks are on to just like destroy shit.
This is what we used to make fun of
That's not
Philly
like
for.
real fans. Like, that is clout chasing. You know what I mean?
We used to say
just...
Eagles fans were like that, and now Knicks fans are kind of becoming like that.
Yeah, but I don't even think those are like true Knicks fans. I think those are just like people looking for
be.
attention. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Any
like
excuse to lash out.
And I completely agree with you. Like, obviously, all that, and I did see a bunch of videos of that too throughout these last couple months. The Knicks were on this, insane playoff run.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's ridiculous. Like, even the guy who threw the egg at Wemby, which is like
dude,
funny.
Why
but it's
like,
why are you
eggs,
doing?
bro?
It's like kind of funny just to say as what, but like, why you just? That was game 4, like right after the Knicks had the craziest comeback in finals history, maybe ever.
Yeah.
And under the circumstances. And like, you should be out celebrating. Why the fuck are you going up to his hotel and like chucking eggs at the guy?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's actually insane.
You just came back on him. But that was not my experience when we were there. We saw nothing but, I mean, we saw some craziness at first. There were dudes on top of traffic lights, and the cops were kind of just standing around smiling.
They can't do
like,
shit,
dude.
They
were letting it. They were like, you know what? As long as no one crosses a line, they're like, this is your night to do it, kind of vibe.
That's insane. I mean? I can't imagine.
And it was
there.
everyone. But everyone just starts like walking, like parading the streets where I was eventually after you got through the mosh pit. Then it was just like what, and all I saw was nothing but joy. Like, and we were part of it. Like, it's just strangers high-fiving, hugging, screaming, yelling, crying, calling people. It was nothing beyond. Once you got out of the mosh pit, unless you were in Times Square, that was probably a fucking nightmare, and I was not going over there. But like throughout the rest of New York, nothing but pure joy, and it was a beautiful moment. And this is also, we talk a little bit about video games or whatever, things that are just
branch out every now and then.
Big to the moment, and I don't think anything in this area was bigger in this moment than this next playoff run. It was a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I like that we are mainly film and TV, but we can branch out into our other interests like sports. I like comics, video games. You like sports and other books that you talk about, like stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, I'm glad that even though you're not really a fan or anything, you felt that and you appreciate that.
And I actually watched, I watched, like I'm not usually watching the basketball either. I only watch college basketball, March Madness. That's the only basketball I care about. And I like playing basketball, but I never got into watching it, especially the NBA, because I don't give a fuck. But
yeah, the regular season NBA is not fun to watch.
Yeah, it's not, because it only matters in the last 2 minutes. And that is true with these games. The last 2 minutes is really all that matters, clearly. But the whole games are so exciting. And those last 2 minutes were fucking exhilarating, dude.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. It's how they won the games. It's part of it.
Yeah, it's pretty great comeback story.
They're a likable group. Like, there isn't a lot of players on this team that are not likable. Like Jalen Brunson, Cat, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, Michael Bridges. Like, these guys are fucking really awesome and easy to root for, and just like, they are absolutely New York legends. They are like Brunson will be in the same conversations as Eli Manning and Derek Jeter and hopefully Aaron Judge someday. If he wins a championship, he is part of that echelon.
Yeah, we'll get him there.
But you know what I mean? Mark Messier, like people like that. So
yeah. Well, I'm glad you got to experience that, man.
Yeah, it was a really beautiful thing. So I just wanted to take a few minutes since I had talked about it the last couple of weeks to like kind of conclude that the New York Knicks, and it was after 53 years. After 53 years, and the New York Knicks are champions. So congrats to them. That was a lot of fun. Anyway, we have some news nuggets.
We got lots of news. We can
just trade them back and forth like punches.
Let's do that. I'm going to start off with my only one that's not an upcoming movie. I want to say that I'm hearing rumors Sebastian Stan is rumored to play Victor Zsasz in the Batman Part 2, not Harvey Dent. People are now saying that Brian Tyree Henry is going to be playing Harvey Dent, which doesn't really make sense if Charles Dance is his dad, but maybe he's adopted. I don't know. But besides that part, that's why it's not like part of the news. The real news is that Sebastian Stan could be playing Victor Zsasz. Victor Zsasz is a serial killer who's usually in Arkham, locked up, and he's shaved his head. And Sebastian Stan is currently bald for an unknown role that we don't know about. He was bald for Fjord, I think, but he's still bald. I was just
going to say, he was bald for Fjord.
But he's still bald now.
That's true.
It's like, why is he keeping it? Unless he's just a bald guy now. Maybe he's just a bald guy.
Maybe he's just a bald guy.
Who the fuck would want to be bald?
Hey, whoa. Well, I guess this week you
can't tell. But Josh is bald. But
maybe I'm
Victor
not.
Zsasz.
Maybe I got a full head of hair underneath this Knicks hat.
Yeah. Okay, buddy. So I think that this whole Sebastian Stan, dance that everyone's doing is like, we don't know shit, basically, at the end of the day.
But here's my thing on that. Didn't he literally share, and didn't like a makeup artist literally share designs for Sebastian Stan's Two-Face look? I saw that.
You did? I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought it was like
everything
confirmed.
on the internet's like,
so that's
now
why
he might be
this
Victor
rumor.
Zsasz.
I think this rumor might be just smoke and mirrors.
Possibly.
Like,
he's bald as fuck, though, aren't they?
I mean,
right
it's a good point. It's a good point. It just doesn't make any sense to me all of a sudden.
Well, we'll have to see. That's a news nugget of like, we don't know shit.
Yeah, that is a discussion nugget, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's the point. Okay, most of mine are actually cast related, which is funny. It's like a little bit in contrast to yours.
If you cast for a movie that I have coming up, I guess I won't have to announce it because you'll
just tie it back together. I don't know. Well, Emma Stone is in talks to join Matt Damon in the next film from the Daniels, the one that originally might have starred Ryan Gosling. It's an 80s set time travel story that is being described as, quote, a superhero tentpole with global warming as the villain.
Dude, imagine it was Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone.
Again?
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, like, they have great chemistry. They have great chemistry.
That sounds like a great... Like, they're selling that to me. They're not very descriptive, which is good, but, like, based on the words they're using, I'm like, all right, that sounds pretty good. But I'm also easy to please. They said superhero and they said like time travel. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I figured that would bark up your tree.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, sounds good, dude.
So that is sounding interesting. We'll look forward to that one. I mean, Everything Everywhere All at Once is a fantastic movie.
Something that I think you're going to be very interested in. I hope you haven't heard it yet. Thorder Palson, never heard of him before this. He is going to be directing a Dead by Daylight movie. Did you hear about that?
I did hear about that. Yes, that was something I did hear about.
That's a game that Josh and I used to play back in the day together, and with a bunch of our friends from school and from home or whatever. And I can't believe, I think this is the time of video game movies. Like, this is great. I love video game movies, and Dead by Daylight seems like the perfect one.
It's certainly going to be interesting. I saw that it was described as reportedly exploring the entity's universe through original survivors and killers rather than a simple retelling of the game. Which I never mind when an adaptation does that. Yeah, when they try to go in a unique direct, like look at Fallout, for example.
That's the
perfect
show. Example.
It's telling a story in the universe without it being just a straight one-on-one adaptation.
Yeah, I totally agree. So I didn't know that part, so that's sick.
All right, well, I guess it's back to me. Speaking of Emma Stone, Drewski has been cast in the film The Catch, which is a new rom-com starring Emma Stone and Chris Pine and directed by Stone's husband, Dave McCary. Drewski will reportedly play her bodyguard in the movie.
It's a rom-com?
Yeah.
Dude, no movie news should start with Drewski has been cast in. What the fuck, dude?
I thought that was interesting. I don't know if he's ever been in a movie in an acting role, like in a in a non-Drewski skit acting role, like someone else being like, Drewski, we are casting you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like it's like when Stavros was cast in Begonia.
He was actually pretty good in Begonia.
He was. It gives me like as a comedian.
Yeah.
Cast in an acting role. Wait, are we talking about it today? Hold on. We're not talking about the Social Reckoning today, are we?
No.
Dude, you see Bill Burr is in it.
Yeah, but Bill Burr has like a history of being.
He was in Breaking Bad, but that's just like an example of like, I love when a comedian can actually show off their chops. So that's cool. If he's good, that's cool.
Well, we'll find out.
Quick one for you. Lilo and Stitch 2 live action has been greenlit. So they're just ripping through these live action remakes. Going to Lilo and Stitch 2. I think that's the one with the red guy, right? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I think so.
It's like the Stitch clone or some shit. I don't know. Dumb. I'm just telling the people.
Yeah, you're just getting the news out there. I did see that one as well. But I didn't see the first one.
Yeah, me neither. So fair enough.
Okay. 24 Jump Street is officially in the works, with Channing Tatum, Jonah Hill, and Ice Cube all in talks to return. So we're finally getting another film in the Jump Street, franchise, I guess. And interestingly enough, they're skipping 23.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I don't know why they're skipping 23.
I feel like it's just the joke of like, it's been a while. I don't know. We'll find out.
All right, I'll do my last.
It's very on
nugget.
brand though, right? Like it's very on brand.
Oh yeah. My last news nugget: 24 Jump Street is in the works with Channing Tatum, Jonah Hill, and Ice Cube set to return. They're skipping 23.
Bro, you just said the same fucking news.
No, that was my last one, so I didn't have anything else.
Oh.
That was my last one. But Lord and Miller are producing because they directed the first two, but they're not directing this one.
All right.
But that was my last news nugget, so I have nothing else. But that is cool.
My bad.
They're skipping 23. Do you remember how 22 ended? And it was like, you motherfuckers are going to medical school, and it was like 23, and that's 24 and 25.
Yeah,
like, you guys are going to veterinary school.
So what if that is the veterinary school one? What if they're just actually doing it?
I would love that. I genuinely think that they could make 10 more of these and just put them in different scenarios, and it'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think it works very well.
You guys are going to be firefighters. Like, I'd fucking love it, dude.
All right. I have a few more news nuggets.
Hit me with them.
I should have left that one for you. If I didn't, I should have thought about that. But it's all right. Let's just rapid fire. Michael Douglas is coming out of retirement to star in Oliver Stone's first movie in a decade. The film is titled White Lies, and the premise is a story tracing through 3 generations that portrays a child of divorce now repeating his parents' mistakes in his own marriage with his troubled son. Feeling trapped, he embarks on a lust-filled journey to free himself, but only becomes more lost when he meets a woman whose life is the opposite of his own. He begins a journey of rediscovery. It also stars Josh Hartnett. I almost said Josh Hart.
Josh Hart.
Josh Hart's in it. Josh Hartnett and Willem Dafoe. So Michael Douglas not going to end his career on Quantumania.
Yeah, dude, you got to go out on a higher high than that.
So he's coming out of retirement.
Cool. Willem Dafoe's in it. Honestly, like, Willem Dafoe's one of the few actors that you could tell me he's in a movie, and I'm like, that sounds like a good movie.
Oh, I agree. And he's in so much. Like when
Yeah.
I go to my letterbox, I think I have him marked down as like over 30 of his films watched, which is a lot
He's been the
for
most
one actor for
watched.
me.
He's been the most watched actor in Letterboxd for the last like 5 years, for like the entirety of Letterboxd.
Yeah, that makes
It's
sense.
been the
That
last
makes a
4 or
lot
5
of
years. He's
sense.
been the most watched, which is crazy because some years he doesn't even have like a movie come out, and he's still the top watched actor that year just because he's got so many classics.
But most years he does. If that's the other thing, is he still is very involved doing a lot of work.
He's
like,
working, man.
Not a lot of people are watching Mississippi Burning every year.
That's
but
a great
hey,
movie.
he's
That's a great
good
movie,
in that
though.
movie. He's good in that movie.
Yeah.
So, all right, Ben Schwartz, the voice of Sonic, has been cast in Sam Mendes' upcoming Beatles biopics coming out in 2028. I don't know what the role is going to be yet, but Ben Schwartz is going to be in the Beatles biopics. So people don't fucking flame me in the comments.
Yeah, you could say either way and they're going to flame you.
I know.
Wait, those are the ones with like the 4 movies, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
One for
Okay.
each Beatle.
Cool.
So I guess
that means
he's
gonna be the character in all 4 of them, maybe.
Yeah, you're gonna see. Well, they're probably all gonna be in all 4, but yeah, he's.
How it's gonna be like seeing a Thanos cameo and you see like Paul McCartney in a John Lennon movie.
I mean, yeah, that's actually such a funny way of putting it, but that's how it's gonna be. Like, it's
holy
just
shit!
It's the BCU, the Beatles cinematic universe.
Yeah, dude, I'm excited.
Anya Taylor-Joy has been cast as Saren in The Lord of the Rings: The Hunt for Gollum. She's playing a Sindar elf at the Woodland Realm. So
what
Anya
Taylor-Joy,
Taylor-Joy,
are you saying to me right now?
Anya Taylor-Joy is joining the Lord of the Rings universe.
Who's Saren?
I told you, a Sindar elf of the Woodland Realm.
Oh, okay. that's not a character we've met before.
I'm pretty sure we've heard the character, but not to my knowledge. Not that I remember. No.
Sindar elf. Okay, I mean she's great, so cool. But also she looks like
she just collects a lot of.
She'd be some sort of fairy tale creature.
Yeah. I mean, and she's collecting a lot of franchises.
Yeah,
you know?
she could be an elf for sure.
Speaking of franchises, Anya Taylor-Joy is in. George Miller is looking to develop a final Mad Max movie and TV series. And it's funny that this is news because we actually recently watched the original Mad Max and Fury Road.
We did,
for the Bible study segment. This is going to be Miller's last go-around before he sells the franchise to the highest bidder. Warner Brothers has already passed on the pitch, but Amazon, Universal, and Sony are all interested in acquiring the rights. If I had my way, I would go to Universal.
Yeah, that's probably best choice.
But I would love to, either way, to see George Miller do one more film in the Mad Max franchise. I think we always needed not a Fury Road sequel, just another film after the fact, like not connected. And Furiosa's fantastic. I don't think you ever watched that one. You should. No, but
Fury Road was great.
It's a really great companion piece to Fury Road, in my opinion. But yeah, like we never got the Wasteland movie. Like we could maybe get that. Like I think I speak for all Mad Max fans. We want one more George Miller film, and a show too would be great. But I want a film.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
All right. Nah, this one is just because I don't think you've heard of this one, and this is so stupid. I'd never thought this would be news. They're making a series based off of the film Hitman.
With Glenn Powell or no?
It says he'll be an executive producer on it alongside Richard Linklater, who directed it.
I really loved that movie. I thought it was great.
And I love Linklater projects.
But it only worked because the character was like it was the character taking over that role as the hitman. How, like, nobody else is gonna do that. I mean, no one else would. You're not gonna find 2 guys who do the same exact thing.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they mean by this. You know what I mean?
Because he also like gave up at the end. Right? Didn't it end with them with kids?
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
That was actually the worst part of the movie. Was the last like 2 minutes.
Yeah, the last 2 minutes of that movie are kind of whack, but the rest of the movie is really good.
All right, well, I'll probably check it out, but whatever.
It's just interesting because I saw that and I was like, That's something I never thought that would be a thing.
Yeah, I don't know what they could possibly do with that.
All right, moving on to my last couple of news nuggets. I told you there was a lot this week. That's why
Yeah.
I felt bad for stealing yours. But these are more important, and the first one is an update in the ongoing Warner Brothers Paramount saga, which I always say this every time. Whenever there's an update on this, I feel like it's imperative to bring it to the table.
Yeah, you guys know where to come for your updates.
This is an important one. The Justice Department has officially approved the Warner Brothers Paramount merger. The regulator is giving the green light for the two studios, the two companies, to tie up together without any divestitures, behavioral remedies, or concessions. They don't have to give up anything for the the Justice Department to approve of it becoming one company, which is kind of crazy to me. Paramount executives have said they anticipate achieving more than $6 billion in cost savings through this merger, which is a major indication that there would be massive layoffs due to the crossover of like positions and overhead and all the different stuff from Warner Brothers and Paramount. So, like, this is obviously a really unfortunate update. Like, it's crazy
Yeah, it
that it did
sucks.
get through without any, a lot of
I
jobs
can
be
believe
lost.
that.
Oh, I could believe it. It's
Yeah,
just,
it's crazy, but I'm not surprised.
There's a petition of over 5,500 filmmakers and actors and other professionals in the industry as an open letter opposing the deal, arguing it would eliminate jobs, raise prices, or reduce competition, all of which I know we agree with. It seems to be obvious that's what would happen.
Mm-hmm. How come no one's mad at the guy in charge of Warner Brothers, whoever's in charge of Warner Brothers?
David Zaslav?
How come no one's like, dude, what the fuck? Just give it to Netflix.
Well, I feel like people are definitely mad. That's why he didn't end up getting his severance package, remember? The board kind of voted against it, which is funny because they're hypocritical in their own way because they're voting for the merger, but
right, like that's what I'm saying. Like
I think the majority of them feel like if they don't vote for it and it goes through, I don't know if they'll get their cut of it, and they don't want to miss out, or I don't know.
As much as we hate Paramount and the government for doing this, like also kind of fuck Warner Brothers for even allowing this to happen.
I mean, I agree. It's not like they really need it. I'm not saying they're not in any kind of debt, but Paramount certainly is in crazier debt when you think about it.
But also, they could have just done a deal with Netflix or whoever else was involved, and you're gonna get a shit ton of money anyway.
Right, and I don't think we really wanted it to go to Netflix either, though, for different reasons. Probably lesser of two evils, but
yes,
my argument is to take what you're saying even further. They didn't have to sell at all.
Yeah, that's the ideal world. I was like,
if
you're selling it, don't sell to literal like
that's
the worst
just
spot.
the realistic. But that's what I'm saying. So of course there are people mad at David Zaslav because he's doing it to get a buyout.
Yeah,
that he ultimately didn't get. So it's kind of a lose-lose for everyone now, except for the shareholders and for the Ellison family. But we still have a ways to go, folks. There are state attorney generals, including California's Rob Bonta, who have said they will potentially move forward with litigation seeking to block the merger over antitrust grounds. And the European Commission, who also has to approve this, by the way, this is not just a United States issue, is investigating the deal under the EU's foreign subsidies regulation. And they are investigating that it is being a $24 billion fronted by sovereign wealth funds of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi. So that part, which I don't think gets talked about nearly enough, the literal people backing this purchase, where the money is actually coming from, should be under more litigation, under a larger microscope in the country, in the government, than it is, especially with the Justice Department, because also the people that this is tied to, Jared Kushner, who is Jared Kushner, Trump's son-in-law. I mean, everyone can see it as plain as daylight, as plain as Dead by Daylight. Like, you can...
yeah. It's a shame, man.
it's pretty crazy conversation to even be having, but that is what's going on. So there is still a ways to go on this, but that is a huge hurdle.
Damn. Yeah, whatever. It sucks.
And not to keep raining on the parade, but another merger, Fox and Roku. Fox is buying Roku for $22 billion and combining it with Fox's sports and news networks, as well as its free ad-supported streamer, Tubi. So our king Tubi is getting sucked up by right-wing media, I guess.
Oh, well, I'm always confused. Is Fox and Fox News, they're the same? Like, that's just the same thing?
Fox is Fox News, yes. 20th Century Fox is not Fox anymore.
So this isn't 20th Century Fox?
No, 20th Century Fox was sold to Disney, Walt Disney,
right.
years back.
Okay. So who owns Tubi right now?
Roku.
Dude, does Roku have anything else that I care about?
The Roku channel?
I've never used that a day in my life, dude.
The Roku channel has the Weird Al Yankovic movie.
Oh, Daniel Radcliffe, man. How is that worth $22 billion?
Mostly because of the streaming devices and all that.
I do fuck with Tubi, though.
Yeah. I do fuck with Tubi. It's free and there's good fucking shit on there.
Quite possibly the worst name for a streaming
fucking now it's being facts, but like now at Tubi, think about it. Tubi is right-wing media now.
Yeah, dude, I gotta boycott Tubi. God damn, dude.
Boycott Tubi? That's fucked up. How do you boycott something that's free?
That's called Tubi too.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. All right. And I've reached my final one. This one is just a quick nod of respect to Gene Shalit, the former Today Show movie critic, who is is the guy with the crazy mustache. You've definitely seen pictures of him before. He passed away. He was 100 years old. Nothing crazy, but he was known for like very like pun related movie reviews. Very funny guy, and he was there for like 50 years, 40 years, something like that. Anyway, yeah, most people probably thought he was already dead, but now
I never even heard of him. So
you never heard of? Actually, that is not surprising.
Gene Shalit.
Yeah, Gene Shalit,
like onion shallot.
Kind of looked like an onion shallot, but that's rude to say, I guess, in this moment.
Well, he's dead. He's not watching this. Gene Shalit. Let me look up a picture.
Look him up. There's no way you haven't seen a picture of him. That's why I'm telling you, just look him up.
I mean, he looks like a. I don't want to. I guess it is mean. All right, he looks like those fake glasses with the mustache and the nose.
Yeah,
that's what he looks like he's wearing.
The Marx glasses, Marx Brothers would. Yeah,
I don't know. Sure. Anyway, all right, let's move on. You're up, buddy.
Yeah, Groucho Marx. That's who it was. Anyway, okay, that's the end of the news nuggets. Moving on to the box office numbers.
And then off making fun of dead people. Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Who's next? You comment dead people, we'll make fun of them.
We'll pick it in our dead Bible.
Dead daylight Bible.
Okay. These are fucking stupid. Yeah, we're going to go over the box office numbers from the weekend of June 12th through the 14th. It's been a wild box office lately. Before we get into the top 5, just to mention one of the films from outside the top 5, which is Michael, in its 8th weekend of release now. Michael is now at $934 million worldwide after opening in Japan, I believe, this past weekend. It hit this accomplishment of making over $930-something million despite facing several production challenges and obviously the expensive reshoots and all that. And it is now the second highest grossing biopic of all time behind Oppenheimer. So, I mean,
it's not crossing $1 billion. Just say that now.
Just be careful, man. It's almost there. And then we look like fools.
After Japan, dude. Come on.
It's almost there. It's almost there. I no longer feel comfortable saying anything until I know this shit's out of theaters. Like,
Until
then
they fucking get rid of it.
we can fucking stunt on Matt. But in the meantime, it's starting to actually look like a possibility.
All right, we'll see.
He might have prophesized something. Maybe it was at the Knicks celebration. I don't know. All right, and now our top 5 films of the weekend of June 12th through the 14th. In 5th place, in its second weekend of release, making just under $9 million at 8.9, is Masters of the Universe. So the He-Man movie dropping 69.7% from its opening weekend. This one falling off real fast. In 4th place, in its 3rd weekend of release, making $11.5 million, is Backrooms, which has now passed $250 million worldwide, and on a budget of only $10 million. Big success. It is tracking to become A24's first ever film to finish above $300 million.
Wow, I'm actually surprised about that.
Yeah.
A24 is a huge studio.
Right, but it's not really like known as a big budget, big box office studio, you know what I mean?
And they release a shit ton of movies all the time.
Right. So, this is the first one that'll likely do it. In 3rd place, in its second weekend of release, making $14.2 million, is Scary Movie. But this is a 73.9% drop-off from its opening weekend, so a massive drop-off for Scary Movie. However, its opening weekend was very successful. It is currently at $173.1 million worldwide on only a $30 million production budget. So it has already been a very successful film for the franchise.
Yeah, I saw that movie. It's not my seesaw, so I can say fucking sucked.
Hey, but you know what? For the purposes of this segment, it didn't matter because you saw it and you made the money. So.
Yeah.
In 2nd place, in its 5th weekend of release, folks, with another $19 million, only down 25.1% from its prior weekend, is the hit of the year, Obsession. This film has officially passed The Mandalorian and Grogu at the total domestic box office. Obsession has made $188 million domestically through 5 weeks versus Mandalorian and Grogu's $165 million through 4 weeks. So that is crazy.
That is insane.
Here at home, more people saw Obsession than a Star Wars movie. And this one is, this is going to blow your mind. It made more money on its 25th day of release than Avengers Endgame made on its 25th day of release.
Whoa. Holy shit.
So
that's so strange. I mean, it's got to be because everyone who, like, so many people saw it first weekend.
People saw it multiple times. Like, obviously, Endgame had a much, much bigger first, second, third.
But that's still a huge accomplishment. Wow.
Yeah, it really is. It had its 4th straight weekend where it finished higher than it opened with. So it's really just completely against the odds of being like the opening weekend is the big, like the legs of this movie.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Is ridiculous. And lastly, it is the 9th highest grossing horror film of all time at the domestic box office.
Wow.
These are the films that are above it, just to give you an idea of the company it sits with. The highest grossing film of all time is the first It film in 2017. In 2nd place, it's The Sixth Sense. In 3rd place, it's Jaws. In 4th place, it's The Exorcist. In 5th place, it's Sinners. In 6th place, it's It Chapter 2. In 7th place, it's A Quiet Place. And in 8th place, it's Get Out. And then in 9th place, Obsession.
Wow. Yeah, some bangers up there.
Yeah.
Surprising, they're horror movies. I don't really watch horror movies. I've seen pretty much all those.
They're the very, very popular ones.
Cream of the crop.
Exactly. And that's where I think Obsession is going to be for a very long time. And this very unusual, very historic box office run of that it's been on, kind of like the Knicks in a way.
Kind of like they're coming from behind and they
Obsession
win.
in 5, guys. It is the 5th weekend of release. It's still number 2 in the box office.
Obsession in 5,
let's go. Baby. Yeah, what a remarkable story. Anyway, in first place, in its opening weekend of release, making $44.5 million worldwide, is the newest film in Steven Spielberg's catalog, Disclosure Day. This film made $92.9 million worldwide, which makes it the biggest opening weekend ever for an original film from Steven Spielberg. It had the highest grossing previews this decade, so Thursday night income.
Yep.
Highest grossing previews this decade for an original film, surpassing Nope and Sinners. So, Disclosure Day, despite its divisive, I would say, opinions, there's a large range of opinions I've seen on this film that we are going to talk about in a minute here. But we cannot deny that it is raking in the money. We'll see how the divisive opinions affect it over the next couple weeks. What kind of drop off it may or may not have.
Yeah.
I'm going to want to see that. I'm just saying. I'm not saying this is going to happen. What if Obsession jumped Disclosure Day next weekend?
Yeah, it's possible. It's not likely, but it's definitely possible. Because none of what Obsession is doing was likely. So it's not out of the realm of possibility.
The way I see it is this. Toy Story 5 comes out next weekend.
Yeah.
Disclosure Day is the biggest competition for a family movie, like, to a Toy Story 5. Like, I did in my theater, I saw people bring their kids. It's a Steven Spielberg movie.
Yeah.
I wonder if, because that whole, kind of audience is going to be seeing Toy Story 5 next weekend, if sort of the counter choice of entertainment remains Obsession, and the people who don't want to see Toy Story 5, they're going to see Obsession over Disclosure Day.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
that is why I'm saying it's not out of the realm of possibilities. I'm not saying it's going to happen. If Obsession, which already jumped a Star Wars movie, can jump a Spielberg movie that's only been out for 2 weeks, it will go down as maybe the most impressive box office run, even though it's not the most didn't make the most money. Might be the most just impressive box office run ever.
Spielberg also said he loved Obsession, which is like, I can't imagine being Curry Barker and this is your first like full-length feature film in theaters, and you get Spielberg to literally admit, not only do top Star Wars, you get Spielberg to say that your movie was incredible, a 10 out of 10. Like,
and then he said he was like, I'm gonna talk to him. Like, we're gonna speak.
Insane. And I like that. I could not even just imagine what that feels like.
While we're talking about Obsession super quickly and money, I guess, did you see this, that Curry Barker was offered $2 million to rewrite the film and make Bear the hero of the story, and he rejected it and made his version for only $750,000, and look at it now.
What? Who offered him that? The studio?
I guess, yeah. Focus. I don't know. They didn't say it was Focus Features. Maybe it was a different studio.
Yeah.
Or like, who did he even make Obsession with? Actually, was it that? It was no, yeah, it was Blumhouse, right? So I don't know that Blumhouse was the one that offered that. It might have been a different studio. I'm trying to say.
Hey, director, he has intuition, man. He knows what's good.
Yeah, that's insane. So anyway, those are the box office numbers for the weekend of June 12th through the 14th. Congratulations to Disclosure Day, to Steven Spielberg, on winning the box office this weekend. Speaking of Disclosure Day, let's get into it.
Oh, here are our ratings. Do you want to go first or you want me to go first?
You can go first.
All right. Here are our ratings and spoiler review. Spoilers ahead for Disclosure Day. I give it 7.2 drunk driving aliens out of 10.
I give it 8 animals staring at me out of 10.
They were freaky. You want to get into some positives? Because I feel like there's a lot of positives. I have some negatives, but I don't want to. We don't have to start negative, you know?
Well, okay. There's a lot of discourse around this film. I feel like I feel like this is a hefty one this time around. I understand. I'll start with this. I understand. There's a lot of criticism I get I have a lot of criticism too.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of criticism of it I don't get.
Well, that's why I think the positives we're gonna agree on, and it's gonna be like kinda, just regular conversation, and then we're gonna disagree on a lot on what we don't like.
Yeah. All right. I will say that this film, like, to get in my it starts off slow, but then it really gets into it, and when you get into it, like, that third act was incredible.
I agree, and I also think it's a good slow. It's not a slow where I'm bored. I'm actually intrigued even though it's
Yes,
slow.
absolutely. It was never boring.
Yeah.
The film wasn't boring in any way. It was entertaining. Um, Spielberg, like, this was he has so many really good, like, the way this is filmed is incredible. He has so many really good, like, tracking shots. His composition in this is remarkable. The way he's, like, obviously positioning the camera and blocking the actors in his scenes makes this, like, in my opinion, some of his best work, certainly in a long time. It really does, in that sense, feel old school in a really fresh way.
A lot
And
of lens
I
flare in this
loved
one.
it. I loved it. Though, yeah, there's a lot of lens flare, but I just, that is what it is. But, like, just the way he moved the camera around, I thought felt very, very unique to him, to a lost time that not a lot of filmmakers are doing. And it's well cast, a lot of great. Emily Blunt, right? Emily
Fantastic.
Blunt is giving a career performance in this film.
Yeah, she's spectacular. Dude, her American accent is just so good. Like, it's so
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's always like, oh, like this British actor can do an American accent, but something about hers specifically is just it felt different to me. I was like, holy shit, like she's so good in this movie. The way she talks, her emotional vulnerability is just fantastic.
She's doing the alien noises. That's actually her. That's actually her
Really? That was
making.
I thought
Yeah.
I figured she was moving her mouth and like was like added in.
No, no.
Wow.
They worked on that, her and Spielberg.
Yeah.
I mean, and she's really digging into such an emotional place. Obviously, you have her panic attack scene. You have the scene where she's revisiting her childhood home,
Uh-huh.
going through these suppressed memories. And the way Emily Blunt, um, kind of, like, keeps it entertaining, keeps, like, a freshness to it, but really emotionally diverges into these set pieces and into these ideas, with her physical performances, her face, or the sound she makes, the mannerisms, the accent. It really was, like, such a pinnacle performance for a career of someone who has been doing a lot of really good work for a long time, has a really good body of work, a really good filmography. She has a really good range. So to see her take on this kind of role with a filmmaker like Steven Spielberg, it 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 definitely is one that I think is going to rank high for me, by the end of the year.
Yeah.
And on, honestly, Spielberg performance lists.
I also think the more I think about this movie, the more I like it. Like it's sitting with me. I actually only saw it last night. So I saw it Sunday night.
I
Um
saw it on Thursday in New York City, home of the 2026 NBA champions, at Lincoln Square IMAX,
Yeah,
which was an
that's
incredible
a
experience.
great way to see a movie like this. Yeah, I mean, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, "Ah, that was a good scene. Oh, that was better." Because I do have my complaints, but um yeah, just the biggest thing is that it just kept me invested. Like not so we could get into the third act because the third act was fucking phenomenal. Like one of the best third acts I've ever seen, I feel like. Like it was incredible, especially when the first two acts were good, they were fine, but the third act really, really takes this movie to another level. It was great.
Yeah, everything with the actual sequence of, the disclosure day
Yeah,
itself,
anything
them,
revealing the info was like, holy shit.
obviously everything you see with Emily Blunt and Josh O'Connor's characters when they're kids, Margaret and Daniel. I was trying to remember their names. Margaret
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
Daniel. And, like, what happened to them, their connection, kind of just the way that this mystery sort of unraveled itself to us throughout the film. It made that slow burn pay off for
Yeah.
me in a way that I don't know that everyone felt that way, but it was truly like when they get when it all came down to the TV studio, when they get there in Kansas City, and they are broadcasting to the world, and the TV producers are doing their thing. It really just kind of brings everything together for one of these climactic moments that when you look back on Spielberg's whole body of work, one of the scenes that I think will always stand out is that Disclosure Day announcement scene in that third act. I want to shout out Courtney Grace.
I was just gonna say, let's talk about that reporter
who was the news anchor, she was a real life news anchor who quit and became an actor, who plays the news anchor in this movie. And I think, like, I I feel like that's a performance that the general public luckily seems like are not going to just let go by, but in the past would have been underappreciated for how it may seem small of a role, but it really ties together the whole fucking movie.
She brought a tear to my eye, man. Like, she was phenomenal, and she's in it for what, like 5 minutes of screen time, something like that.
If that.
Like, she is obviously she is like the conduit she's the connection between the people learning the news and what we already know. And it's just like her reactions are so raw and so real, and like as we are learning more, like, as the audience, we're also being disclosed things, just like the rest of the world in this movie is. And shit, dude, when she was watching those, fucking aliens get tortured, a tear almost came to I was tearing for a second because she was like, oh my God, this is horrible. She was so fantastic.
Yeah. And I do think that some people like had issues with the method of it that Spielberg chose, which is traditional media, cable or network news.
Yeah. But I don't have a problem with that.
And that's why people I'm like, if you're thinking about who's making this movie and what he's trying to say, and which is eventually what I'm going to talk about in a minute when we get into criticisms and all that other stuff, but like who he is at this point in his life, the kind of message that this movie is putting out, I feel like doing it this way makes sense. It's still believable that people can get that same visceral reaction and that kind of news, that the whole point of what was going on there with her disclosing the aliens at the end, and which is part of what makes it work for me in her role as a news anchor. So obviously the performance that she does is great.
Would they want her to go on TikTok live instead?
Yeah,
I mean, they show everyone watching the news on their phone. I think that's good enough. Like, I don't know why people.
Well, because then people, I know, I'm not even disagreeing with you about that, and then people saw like stuff where they're like, oh, how do they know it's not AI? And they're like, well, in the movie they're like, oh, well, we're trying to confirm, but
yeah, they have a line. It's like we checked it. It's not AI. Like, that's all you need. Just say it's
and
not
people
AI.
felt like that was lazy, I guess.
It is, like, it's not lazy. It's just, I mean, maybe it is, but you're not going to go into a whole 20-minute segment about like, you need to do this to check for AI. You need to do this to check for AI. Like, it's the,
I guess that's why people feel like Spielberg, they're like, he feels out of touch or he's not the same, which I
just
disagree with. I'm not saying he has the same perspective as Spielberg at 80 does not have the same perspective as a filmmaker in their 30s or anyone in their, you know what I mean? Like I think we have to also think of that, but I wouldn't call him out of touch for still believing in a traditional media or in empathy, which I'm or anything of the such that this movie is kind of the whole point of this movie, which I think is lost on a lot of people. Like I mean, he just made The Fabelmans 4 years ago, which is a remarkable film that is very in touch, I think, with a lot of modern, day thoughts, even if it doesn't take place there, like Disclosure Day. And I think Disclosure Day still has that same emphasis of understanding with a different perspective on it that people are just in over their heads making a bullshit criticism for because
It is.
they cannot understand that.
It's a movie about aliens who travel to Earth and there's magic fucking rocks and shit. And people are like, how'd they get the AI tracker so fast? Like, can you just believe that a world where it has magic rocks that turn you invisible can have a computer that detects AI quickly? It's not that hard. It's just suspension of disbelief. If you know, it's the same people who are like, oh, Jurassic Park, they brought dinosaurs back, but they don't have seatbelts on this ride. Like, that doesn't make sense that the ride where they're learning about dinosaurs doesn't have seatbelts. Shut the fuck up. Like, it's such a dumb, it's just stupid.
Well, something like that is dumb, yeah. I do believe that this is more than just, like, that is, like, the plot of the movie, but I understand that, and I think a lot of people are understanding and then just interpreting in different ways, like, what Spielberg's, like, what kind of story he's telling through this fantastical,
Sure.
story.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, he's trying to, especially in that third act where it's like he's trying to get everyone to come together and trying to preach like a message of empathy, of understanding, kind of appealing to the good in human nature, which people feel is very, I guess, naive. I don't know, naive maybe approach. I don't agree with that criticism in any way. Like, if anything, I actually look at Disclosure Day in comparison to like a Close Encounters of the Third Kind or an E.T. Those are a little more whimsical in nature. Like, especially E.T. is more whimsical in nature.
Yeah, they
Like,
are.
this is a more mature and cynical approach to uh, to human nature, where he's preaching something deeply profound about that, and people are just so pessimistic and unaccepting, I
Yeah.
guess, of that message, which and in turn makes them turn on that suspension of disbelief, of suspension of belief.
So we have complaints from us. Do you want to jump into them? Because that's, I mean, pretty much, yeah, we agree on all the positives. Like, that shit was good. Like, there was some good, a lot of great acting, a lot of great scenes. Like, yeah, totally agree with you. But I do have some complaints, and I know you're going to be mad at them.
Maybe. um yeah, well, let me hear what you got.
I think I'll start with my biggest one because the rest are kind of nitpicky, but they're just annoying me. The biggest thing that I didn't like about this movie is, like I said, I love the third act. I don't like the precise exact ending of not knowing what the aliens said. I think that could be a good ending, but it was not earned in this movie. And I don't think it's earned because we don't learn anything about these aliens. It is a whole movie about we don't know, we're going to disclose information, we're going to disclose information, we're going to disclose information. Spielberg does not disclose anything to us. He, like, if we even learned a minuscule amount of information about the aliens, I wouldn't need to know what they said. But we don't know why they're on Earth. We don't know why they keep crashing onto Earth. We don't know what those rocks are. We don't know, is she like a god? Does she have abilities? Like, we don't know anything about these creatures. So then to have the audacity to not tell us what the aliens said actually kind of bothered me because we don't know jack shit about anything else.
This is one of the pieces of criticism I can understand. I don't agree with, but I understand it because in the precise moment, I kind of felt the same way. I was like, okay, I guess.
It
But the
could
more
be
I think
good.
about it, the more it works. It's maybe anticlimactic, but it works. And the reason why is because of what the point of the movie is actually, that it's actually about, which is not about the information itself, but it's about earning our choice of being able to have that information. Like, the film is about the act of being able to disclose rather than what is being disclosed. And I think that is just like I think that that's the movie Spielberg wanted to make, and I think a lot of people just assumed it was about what it is and not Spielberg talking about why we deserve to just know in the first place. And that's why I think it's okay, because that I don't think it matters. You know what I mean? I think the whole point is that it's, in that sense, I'm saying I don't think it matters, because I think at that point it's up for, like, it's interpretation. Our fate is unknown, like, and in real life it's unknown, but we deserve to know the truth about our universe, about our life and who we are.
I agree. You're totally right. Like, I just like the ending itself is good, but not for what the entire rest of the movie is for me personally. Like, I just couldn't help but feel disappointed that there wasn't even just like a throwaway line from Coleman Domingo being like, the aliens are here to do this, or literally just anything about them. They're called this, or this one's name is this, or those are
Well,
like.
we did get one name.
Did
We
we?
did. Yeah, it was. Hold on. The alien was called. I know they said
I
it.
don't remember because they talk weird. So how what? I just wanted some sort of smidge of information so that the ending would be like, I didn't need to hear what they said because I already know enough. Like, I already know a little bit, so that's all I needed.
Yeah. No, I get that. They did definitely have
They
a
cock
name.
teased me, man.
I'm trying to find it. I saw it under the.
That's right.
So I
Sure.
remember they said it.
If they gave us a name, then that maybe I just don't remember it. If they did, then that helps me a little bit feel
No,
better
I
about it.
agree. It wasn't a very memorable one. I don't know if it was for the one alien or if it was like the whole race, species of aliens.
Well, I'll get into my second criticism that's a little smaller, and it's like my really only second one. Um, and I don't know if you'll agree with this either. I think that the bad guys, besides the main bad guy, like the rest of the bad guys. Oh, also, we didn't even learn why the guy touches the rock and then like fucking teleports and then he like turns invisible. You know what I mean? Like, it would be nice to
Well,
learn something.
yeah, I get those complaints. I do. It's just I feel like I think like some of my problems with the plot are this disjointedness of it, like the plot points, but I
Yeah.
also don't like certain things don't need to be completely explained. Like I mean I get what you're saying,
Like, I
but
didn't need everything explained. I just wanted like something else explained, you know?
I feel like, yeah, like I feel like the teleporting thing to me is not a big deal to not have explained, because it's supposed to just be like, oh, this is something it can do we didn't know when in the we're learning it. But I feel like
Yeah, yeah.
more of like this, the I think we should have known a little more about the important elements of it. You know what I mean?
Right. Because
Um,
they show in the flashbacks that it's just the stuff that like touches their head when they're kids. But like,
yeah,
how did they even get those? Like, where did they, like, I don't know. Whatever. And my second biggest complaint is that I think the bad guys, besides the main bad guy, he was great, but the bad guys are just like horrendous. They're just goofy. They're embarrassingly bad at their jobs. And I think that was kind of poor writing. Is like when Josh O'Connor is running to the farmhouse and he's like behind the fence and they just don't see him, and then they can't shoot the tires, they can't shoot him, and they can't open the door, and like they're just failing miserably, and then they find them again, and it's like she sneaks out the back door of the back window of the hotel and hides behind a tree, and they just don't go after her. Stupid. And like it's just, and like they don't even use the like look into your mind power on her, even though clearly has the thing that they're looking for, and then she's kind of kicked out of the rest of the movie for most of the part. Jane, I think. And then the bad guys, they believe
yeah,
the truck over the cliff. They believe that, even though they're in the woods right next to them behind the rock, and you could clearly hear them stepping on leaves. And the bad guys just believe it. It's like they were just embarrassingly bad at their jobs to the point where I was like, I don't believe this.
yeah. I mean, so the screenplay was written by David Koepp, who has written some good stuff before. Sam Raimi Spider-Man, Jurassic Park, the
Oh, he's
first Mission
peak.
Impossible. But this screenplay, a lot of people kind of feel similarly. It's not the strongest point of the movie. I don't think it is either. So I do think that's not even a Spielberg issue, because he didn't write the film. I mean, he
Then it
has a
was the other
story
guy's fault.
credit, but I understand that there are some disjointed feelings with the characters and the way the plot kind of propels itself forward. So that's why my issue is less with the lack of exposition and just more of the believability in the universe to tell the story. Because again, part of the importance of the mystery of the aliens is to propel the importance of the actual message of, human empathy and a human story and the right to the truth against systemic conspiracy and governmental shadowy forces. That's the real story here. It's an espionage film more than it is an alien film. So
Yeah.
I think that might have been more of a marketing issue, but I do think that it does feel disjointed at times, but and that's more of what you're saying with the characters that I agree with, where it's like,
Yeah.
these plot propellers, I guess is a way to put it,
Yeah, that
rather
is
than
what it
the lack
was.
of exposition that
Yeah.
was your other complaint. So I
It's just
more agree with this one.
so those were my biggest issues. I mean, what else is there anything else that you didn't really enjoy about it? Any criticisms? I wish Coleman Domingo was used more.
Yeah, I didn't really understand how he knew some of the things he knew.
That's why I thought like he should have maybe given us a little bit more info, because she even says you're the guy who knows everything. So he obviously worked there, but like in what capacity? Like I don't know.
Yeah. No, there's definitely some things missing in that regard. I don't disagree. I just don't think we needed a full-on explanation of the aliens and like their purpose and everything. That's why I think the ending works in that regard. I think it just feels a little hollow because we could have used a little more meat, meat
Yeah,
and
that's
potatoes
exactly
around
how I
it.
feel. Yeah.
So that's why I half agree with your two major complaints, really, because I don't agree about the ending. I think the ending, I felt that way at first, and then I thought about it, and I said, no, this is what the movie was about, and this is a great ending for it. But it is missing, especially for a movie that's 141 minutes, a little bit of meat and potatoes on the bone
It,
there.
it did feel a little
Um,
long.
so I get it. I do. Um, the film never plays all of its cards, plot wise, obviously with the lack of information, but again, I don't think it has to. Um, like I like what this movie's about though. Like I like what this movie's actually
I like the
doing.
message.
It's a story of two people who are looking to share the truth, like I said. And it's also, like you said, it's a story of empathy, and people may find that naive or overly optimistic, but I think it's important. I think it's actually, very relevant.
I do too. I thought it was a
Um
great line. I think it was Coleman Domingo says like they look at the highest form of evolution as having empathy. Like that is what
yeah.
empathy is. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's fucking phenomenal. I love that.
And I agree. I completely agree. The film is really begging us to find the good in one another because Spielberg is a big believer in aliens, and that's a big reason why he uses this, and
Loves his aliens.
aliens in his movies. That's why, it's not up to Spielberg to reveal the truth of the universe. That's why he never does in his movies, because he doesn't know the truth of the universe. But he is trying to appeal to the better half of human nature so that we may be able to approach that unknown someday with curiosity instead of fear. That is the point of Disclosure Day. That is the point of Close Encounters, the point of ET, and the
Yeah.
point of Disclosure Day. And I think that's why people may feel disappointed because that's not what they were looking for out of the movie, but that's the movie we were given. So I think that works, and I'm sorry if that's not what you were looking for, but in my opinion, it still makes it a valid film, a really well-made film. I also really liked all this, debate how he plays religion into the whole thing, inviting debate on how and where, we put our faith as humanity into what, like if we ever saw, aliens or like higher evolved beings than ourselves, how would that affect people's belief in God? How would that affect people's belief in our unknown that we have cultivated for ourselves
Uh-huh.
in our society? So I think Spielberg is really playing with a lot of interesting ideas that make this exciting, and it still has a lot of action in it. It's got that incredible sequence with the train and a couple different other ones, like the one with the house with the cars.
Yeah, yeah.
My voice has been fucked ever
Yeah.
since the Knicks.
Yo, drink some water, bro. Yeah, we're surprisingly close on this. 7 point, what did I say, 3 or 2, and you're at an 8. Like it's pretty close for a movie. Usually we're kind of a little separated.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's not like his magnum opus, right? Like this is not one of Steven Spielberg's crowning achievements in his career,
No,
but I still think he manages to create something really unique to him, something important, something fun,
it's worth watching.
something worth watching.
Yeah,
I think I had higher expectations going into it. I do. I think I'm a little disappointed. I was hoping it would be in that upper echelon of Spielberg movies. But even though it's not, it's still a really good, like, from a lesser director, this would be a really good, like, one of your best movies,
that's
probably.
how I was feeling. I was like, this is a good movie, but it's a great movie, but it's not a great Spielberg movie.
Which is funny. I mean, I get that, and I don't disagree, but the film is very Spielbergian.
It is. It's just he suffers from his own success. It's like Nolan. Like if he makes a bad movie, it could be a great movie in anyone else's hands, but if it's Nolan, it's a bad movie.
That's fair. I mean,
Suffer from
Spielberg,
success.
you'll always be suffering from your success, but at this point, Spielberg is also picking the movies he wants to make. This is the movie he wanted to make. So even though there's some issues with the writing, his end of it as a filmmaker, with the way he shot it, the composition of the film,
Yeah.
the story that he was like, the themes of the film that he was able to get across, the performances he was able to get out of, his cast. Like we talked about Emily Blunt, Courtney Grace, Colin Firth, you mentioned. He's really good in the villainous role. There's a lot of great work in this movie. Like Spielberg does a great job. Like I can't believe that there's this idea that Spielberg is lost to Spielberg is, should retire, blah, blah, blah. It is
that's crazy.
disrespectful in my opinion, because if the criticisms of this movie are not really on the work that Spielberg had the biggest hand on. So I'm not saying he doesn't get any fault for maybe some of the story issues, within the actual surface of the plot. But everything around it is still working very well. And I think that it is very divisive, but I think it's a movie people will look back on and it'll age, like people witness with nostalgia, like as it goes on.
Sure, probably. That's all I got.
Yeah, pretty much that's all I got. A really nice movie from another one from Spielberg. I think it's a reminder of why he's the GOAT,
Yeah.
like it still is a reminder in my eyes.
We are going to rank our top 10 favorite Spielberg movies.
Yes.
I went first for the review, so do you want to take it away?
You're just nervous about putting out your list. You're trying to push it off.
I'm trying to. I just don't want anyone to know.
Okay. All right. I can go first if that is how it must be. First, I want to say the one film that will not be in the top 10 that might be, but it's going to take a rewatch at this point in my life is Catch Me If You Can. I haven't seen that movie in like 16 years or something. I don't really remember it. I can't rank it in good faith.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? So I have seen it. For anyone who's going to say, where's Catch Me If You Can? I need a rewatch. It'll come soon down the road, I promise. But in the meantime, these are my top 10 Spielberg movies. Three honorable mentions, the ones right below, just to name drop them. The Color Purple, great movie. Minority Report, great movie. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, great movie. Those are the films from 13, 12, and 11. Anyway, top 10, number 10, West Side Story. This film, speaking of 2020's Spielberg, with Disclosure Day in it and everything, West Side Story did not get enough love, in my opinion. This movie is fantastic. I think it's a really heartfelt you know, reinterpretation, reimagination of the original film with such incredible performances. Rachel Zegler, Ariana DeBose, Rita Moreno is great in that movie. You know, she was in the original one as well. He brings like a whole new feel to this story. And like just seeing Spielberg do a musical, you know, like the blocking, I was talking about that with Disclosure Day. The blocking of this is insane. Um, it's a very emotional movie. I'm just a theater kid at heart, and yeah, I love Spielberg's West Side Story. I just love it. In ninth place, bit of a hot take, I guess. Another film of his that doesn't get enough love is Lincoln. I think Lincoln is a really good movie. I remember when I first saw it in theaters as a kid. I used to be a big history nerd like you, Jack, before, you know, I really got more into film and everything. But I loved history, and I saw this movie and I was like, damn, that's so good. Daniel Day-Lewis as Lincoln is really good. Sally Field's Mary Todd is so good. Like, this is just a staple film for me. You know what I mean? And like, I think it has a lot of really memorable scenes and a really great cast. And it just gets forgotten. Like, I feel like people forget Spielberg did this movie.
Yeah, they do for sure.
So I love that movie. I think it's really good. In eighth place, I have E.T. It's a classic. I mean, it would be number one for a lot of lesser filmmakers. It's not my absolute favorite Spielberg, but it's still such a really emotional, family-friendly film. Probably like, you know, one of the best dynamics between a character in this movie with Elliot and E.T. that you get in any Spielberg movie. Drew Barrymore is great, you know, in a child performance. I just love it. I mean, it's such a feel good movie. It's E.T. You know what I mean? It's hard to go wrong. In what am I? Seventh. In seventh place, I have Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. This is a fantastic movie. Don't take the seventh place as any wrongdoing of it.
Unfortunate it's that
This
low.
is a fantastic movie nonetheless. The dynamic between Harrison Ford and Sean Connery is unmatched. It is up there as well for another top Spielberg dynamic. Really a great culmination of the original Indiana Jones trilogy, seeing the reflection of Indy's, you know, kind of flaws, his insecurities that he sees onto his father. It's also just such a really funny movie. I remember my Letterboxd review for the last time I watched this movie was basically just pointing out how wild it is when you find out that someone you banged is a Nazi and then immediately find out that your dad banged the same Nazi.
It's like, what's
Like,
worse?
it really, yeah, right? So, like, I mean, it's an incredible movie all around, a really great action, a really great film. It's just Steven Spielberg, you know what I mean? In sixth place, I have his war film, Saving Private Ryan. Now, again, this is, I mean, like, for most filmmakers, this would be the greatest movie in your career. This is one of the most realistic war films I have ever seen. The story that it tells of D-Day, the production that went into this one, the performance of Tom Hanks as Captain Miller. I've always really liked Tom Sizemore in this film as well. Of course, Matt Damon in every movie is the one that is trying to return home, that they're trying to save. But it's just such an iconic film, such an emotional movie. Spielberg has a lot of feel-good movies. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade and E.T., my other two, you know, that I just said, being two of those. So Saving Private Ryan is one of those times where Spielberg really opens up the emotional bag, tells an important story that I think would really resonate, would really pull at the heartstrings, and Saving Private Ryan is just it is one of his most raw films. I think one of his most just like destructive films, but it is incredible stuff. So now we get to the top five, I believe. In fifth place, we have the one and only Jaws, the first big blockbuster from Spielberg. And at this, it's so hard for me that Jaws isn't in my top like four. And if I had to do like a Mount Rushmore, Jaws wouldn't be in it.
That's how
That's really
good he
kind
is,
of like
man.
hard to fathom in a sense because Jaws is, in my opinion, like one of his most it is probably his second most iconic film of all time, which in a sense to it, like the most iconic, which is, you know, Jurassic Park. It's a franchise. But like Jaws is such a cultural staple. It laid the groundwork for what a blockbuster could look like. It laid the groundwork for what horror can look like on the big screen. The way he films it, you still see like techniques that he uses to this day. Like we talked about Disclosure Day. There are things he's doing in Disclosure Day that he was doing over 50 years ago in Jaws. This film, 50 years on, still manages to excite and entertain on a level of its own. It is truly its own thing. The music, the shot selection, like it's Jaws. You know what I mean? It's Jaws. John Williams is great. By the way, we didn't even say anything about John Williams in our Disclosure Day review.
Yeah, he was fucking phenomenal.
94 years old, and the score is so good still.
Yeah.
I mean, 30 collaborations with Spielberg, man. And it started, I think it started with Jaws. I don't think Williams did the Sugarland Express. So, yeah, I mean, just all around great. In fourth place, The Fabelmans. A 2020s Spielberg in the top 4, because The Fabelmans to me is is the most introspective film of his entire career, because it's the one where he's analyzing himself and his relationship to cinema and his relationship to the audience. It is deep. It is complex. It has layers to it with its characters and its story. It's a love letter to cinema, but it's also a revelation for Spielberg in his past. You're almost seeing a continuation of that theme in Disclosure Day with Emily Blunt and Josh O'Connor reliving their childhood memories. It's kind of a continuation of that thematic principle that Spielberg's been getting at in his late career work, which is acceptance of identity and of one's past and their evolution of self. And that is obviously in Disclosure Day and at its peak, at its core, in The Fabelmans. Like, it just has such a weight to it, but such a love and such an understanding, even if you don't understand, like an acceptance of not understanding, but also an understanding, like in terms of parents, your relationship to your parents, the kind of your point of view of them changing as you get older and see them more as people and not as authority figures or just parents. It's just a beautiful movie. It gets me emotional every time I talk about it. I love it. Top 3, Jurassic Park, number 3. I mean, it's Jurassic Park. You can flip a coin with 3 and 2. Jurassic Park is so iconic. This is when I say the one above Jaws, I say Jurassic Park is the most iconic Spielberg franchise in film. Obviously, the trio of Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum are so iconic. It's just great human performances against fucking dinosaurs, and
cool.
The production of it is just so awesome, you know, before it diverges into the CGI slop fest that, you know, it doesn't always look bad, but just it's not the same as the real deal that was, you know, the early years that they were playing around with in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Richard Attenborough doesn't get enough love as well in that movie as Hammond. He's really good. I mean, it's Jurassic Park. Again, it's the same with Jaws, where I'm just like, what is there to say? You know, it is a film of wonder, a film of like childlike excitement. It's the pinnacle of the blockbuster, and I love it. But my number 2 is Raiders of the Lost Ark. Again, you can flip a coin with that in Jurassic Park, truly, either or, 3 and 2, they're both in that. It's interchangeable, really. Rated for all the same reasons, but I just love Harrison Ford in this character. This film is so iconic. This is the one that really started it all. I love his dynamic with Karen Allen in that movie. It's the beginning of that. This is just, I mean, it is the near perfect blockbuster. It has entertainment. It has a really, really charismatic main character that has aged well as a performance and a character. Exciting scenes, obviously everything, you know, with the boulder and the swap and it is just an incredible movie. One that has aged incredibly well, stands the test of time. And at that point between that and Jurassic Park, it's which franchise do you prefer? And I think at this point, I maybe give the edge to Indiana Jones, and that's why I just love the adventure of that movie. And in first place, my favorite Steven Spielberg movie is Schindler's List. Schindler's List is the greatest movie of Steven Spielberg's career. It is the saddest, the most difficult watch of his career, one of the toughest things you could ever watch, but it is important. It's beautiful, it's haunting, it's painful, it's harrowing, and yet it's really hard to vocalize the message that transcends this movie. I mean, there are Holocaust films, and there are plenty of really difficult ones out there. This one, to me, I think is one that gets me the most. I every time I have watched it, I've cried. Liam Neeson is so insane in this movie. Ray Fiennes is so villainous, so menacing in this movie. And that's what's important about this movie, is that that's being told. And from just like an artistic standpoint, it's great work. You know, like I said, the performances are great, the set pieces, it's very entertaining, but obviously it's just, it is showcasing the depths of evil and like the will of humanity. And when we talk about Spielberg's career, when we talk about Disclosure Day, Jack, and we talk about, you know, the kinds of movies people expect from Spielberg and the kinds of movies he's trying to give us, it's a theme that I think pops up time and time again in his work, which is to appeal to the good side of human nature and empathy. And that is what prospers even in the darkest of days. And it's Schindler's List and Disclosure Day and everything else in between. They're certainly very different films, but they're all at their core really about that. And Schindler's List, to me, is the pinnacle of everything he ever did as a filmmaker. And I can't believe he made it the same year he made Jurassic Park. The same year, those two movies.
I didn't know that.
1993, he came out with Jurassic Park and Schindler's List. A remarkable career. There's so many films of his that I absolutely adore, and that is my top 10.
That's a good list. I agree with you on everything that I've seen, except I do think you're due for a rewatch with The Last Crusade. I don't think it's very low. It's surprisingly low.
Here's the thing. I completely get that it's low. It is a phenomenal movie. I last watched it 3 years ago.
It's more recent than I would have thought.
3 years ago. I love this movie, and for all the reasons I explained in my list.
Yeah.
It's just the 6 movies that I have above it.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
I just don't know.
You just can't do it.
How it jumps it. How do I put it above Saving Private Ryan? How do I put it above Jaws? Yeah. How do I put it above The Fabelmans? You know what I mean?
Just wait till my list.
Well, I don't think anyone wants to.
I'll show you how to put it above those.
How do I put it above Jurassic Park? You know what I mean? Like, I just don't. And I know you like it over Raiders, but it's Raiders of the Lost. Like to me, it's just everything above it, including it. Even E.T., which is below it, it's like, how is E.T. at 8? You know what I mean?
Well, that's fair.
It's an embarrassment of riches in his career.
Let me get into my top 10 list of Spielberg movies. I'm just going to say beforehand, I haven't seen all of his movies. So if you're watching this and you're like, why isn't Saving Private Ryan on his list, or Catch Me If You Can, or whatever other movie that you think should be on the list, Schindler's List? If you think it should be on my top 10 list and it's not, probably haven't seen it. What are you going to do? These are just my favorites of the ones I've seen. Top 10 Spielberg movies. In 10th place, it's the only movie that is not good on my top 10, because I've only seen 13 of them, is Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, Indiana Jones. It sucks, okay? I'll say it there. It's 10th place by default. It sucks. Moving on.
How many are below it?
3.
Okay.
Like, I just do my top 13. You did too. Fine. Top 13. Last place out of every Spielberg movie I've ever seen is The Lost World, Jurassic Park. Then Lincoln in 12th. Then West Side Story in 11th. Now we're on Kingdom of the Crystal Skull in 10th. Ninth place is E.T. This is where movies start getting good and great. E.T., 9th place, fun family classic film. You kind of said the major parts of it. 8th place, Disclosure Day. I think this is an upgraded Alien movie. I like this a lot. I like Disclosure Day more than E.T. I think it's a lot more intriguing. But I think out of every movie on this list, E.T. is the one I haven't seen in the longest time. So I'm probably due for a rewatch. In 7th place, missing from your list, I have War of the Worlds. Another Alien movie. Spielberg loves his aliens. I think War of the Worlds is intense, man. It is suspenseful and it's kind of scary at times, like genuinely a little scary because there is that mystery of the aliens, but instead of being like peaceful creatures and we're the bad guys, and this one they are the fucking bad guys. And I love War of the Worlds, and it's Tom Cruise. I love Tom Cruise. Uh, in fifth, no, it's sixth place. Jaws. Nothing to say about Jaws. It's fucking Jaws. It gets sixth place, which is insane. Like you said, it's insane that Jaws, how good it is this low. And same thing with E.T. E.T.'s as good as it is, it's in ninth place next to Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Like, there's such a big disparity between 10th place and ninth place. If I had seen one more movie, it'd be all movies that I like, but it's not. In fifth place, Spielberg's most underrated film, in my opinion. I think it's easily hated on way too much. Ready Player One. This movie is so fun. This movie is funny and it's fun and it's a good time and it's like the definition of a huge fucking blockbuster. And it looks great. It's got great visuals. It's got great movie references. King Kong, The Shining, Jurassic Park, all these great things in this movie. And it's just a good time. And it's got Ben Mendelsohn. He's awesome. And it's as a guy who loves video games, like this was so fun. I remember watching this when it came out in 2018 and being like, dude, I want to play this game. I want to like live in this universe. It was so cool. And then interestingly enough, fourth, third, and second are all Indiana Jones. So it's fourth place, I have Temple of Doom. Third place, I have Raiders of the Lost Ark. And second place, I have The Last Crusade. Temple of Doom is not talked about enough because it's smushed in between two 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10 movies. But Temple of Doom is good. It's a good movie. It's a great time. It's darker than the others. It's kind of fucked up, and it did scar me as a child more than the other two did. But I think that sort of gives it an appeal. Like the other two have, like Empire Strikes Back is so much darker than A New Hope, right? and and Return of the Jedi. Like it's you kind of need a movie that's different, whether it works like an Empire Strikes Back or it doesn't as much in Temple of Doom. It's good to have like a black sheep of a trilogy, and I do think that is Temple of Doom, and I enjoy it. And then third, I'd rate it as a Lost Ark. We're talking about iconic franchises or iconic Spielberg things. It's the top three is Jurassic Park, Jaws, and Raiders. That's exactly how Indiana Jones is like one of the most iconic characters of all time, and this is where it started. And this movie is more iconic than Last Crusade. I like Last Crusade more, but this is more iconic. It's got the boulder. It's got, the introduction of, you pull your hat out from underneath the door closing because you need your hat. It's great. Plus, Temple of Doom had Short Round, so I didn't credit that. Short Round, great addition. Usually the side characters in Indiana Jones kind of suck, but Marianne is great. Short Round is great. And in Last Crusade, Henry Jones Sr., like you said, the biggest standout of this movie is the relationship between Sean Connery and Harrison Ford. And I absolutely fucking love Last Crusade. And then my favorite Spielberg movie of all time is Jurassic Park. Growing up, everyone has their own like thing that you're obsessed with. And I think boys specifically is like trucks, space, dinosaurs. Like it's one of those things, Mine was always dinosaurs. Love dinosaurs. Even as a kid, my talent for one of the talent shows that we were forced to do in like fourth grade was I can name more dinosaurs than anybody else. Like that was literally, I went on stage and was like, Tyrannosaurus Rex, Pteranodon, all that shit, Stegosaurus. Jurassic Park was the shit, still is the shit, will always be the shit. I absolutely love it. Greatest Spielberg movie of all time.
No, I can completely respect most of your list, considering you haven't seen Schindler's List, you haven't seen, Saving Private Ryan. I do think those two would be in your top 10 if you'd seen them.
I would love for them to boot out Kingdom.
Look, I like Ready Player One too.
I knew you made a face, dude. I knew you were gonna say something.
I like Ready Player One too. I think it's overhated. I don't even disagree with that. Above Jaws,
I enjoy
is certifiably ridiculous. ridiculous.
It's so fun. Like, I literally have so much fun watching it. It's so much more rewatchable than Jaws is, too.
I don't agree with that. I don't
think
agree at all. I think Jaws is way more rewatchable than... Why? Because it's newer?
No, because it's more entertaining.
I disagree. I think it's overhated. I like it. It's not... The visuals don't totally hold up super well. Like the some of them are really cool, but some don't look as good. And I mean, the Shining scene is really cool in that movie, but I think it doesn't have a lot of other really standout moments. It doesn't have like great characters like some of Spielberg's other movies.
That is an issue. I will stay. I'm with you on that. Is that it doesn't have great characters. It doesn't have memorable characters.
Out of 20 on my out of 21 on my list, it is 17th. Ready Player One.
I think, but that's the thing. Spielberg's so good that like I'm gonna say that's crazy, but it's not because
I still like the movie.
Exactly.
I loved it when it first came out. I was like you. I did actually really love the movie, but like when I've looked back at it over the years, I just...
You know what's funny is that I saw that when I actually forgot to mention this. I saw you give it 5 stars.
That was in 2018. That was 8 years ago.
I saw that and I was like 5 stars, and then like you're saying it's not it not being on your list. I was like, holy shit. And that makes sense. That makes sense.
Because I've revisited it and it just hasn't been, not anytime recently, but I have since then, and it just hasn't been quite as like it didn't. It was exciting, but it didn't hold up as I guess my film tastes have changed. I don't know how else to put it really. It's still a good movie. My hot take is I do have it over Close Encounters of the Third Kind. That's my big Spielberg hot take. I'm not a big Close Encounters guy. I only have it one above.
Is E.T. his best alien movie to you?
Yeah, I think E.T. is his best alien movie.
Because he's got
I have Disclosure Day at 14th.
Is his worst alien movie Kingdom of the Crystal Skull?
Yes. That's my second. That is my second
Wait,
favorite.
do we both have Lost World last?
Yeah.
Yes, dude.
But people judge us for that one.
They don't like that. But
I don't fuck with the Lost World.
No,
that is the only Spielberg movie that I've given less than 3 stars. Even Kingdom of the Crystal Skull got 3 stars from me.
And it doesn't feel... I think Kingdom of the Crystal Skull got 2.5 from me. But which is funny because it's 10th for me and it's like 19th for you.
But you don't watch movies.
Yeah, well, I don't watch Spielberg movies. But it doesn't... Lost World doesn't feel like a Spielberg movie. It just doesn't have that magic. Like even Disclosure Day had that magic. Even Kingdom of the Crystal Skull feels like a bad Spielberg. Like I still get Spielberg vibes from it. I don't get that from Lost World.
The Lost World is very uninspired. It's just very kind of like drained of what made the first Jurassic Park an incredible movie.
And it sucks because it had source material too. Like the first Jurassic Park had a book. There was a second Lost World book that he based it off of, and it's not... Apparently it's amazing, and his movie sucks.
It's kind of funny that your list is sandwiched with the 2 Jurassic Park movies with the Indiana Jones movies in between.
Yeah, that's true. It is. All right, so that's our Spielberg list, man.
Have you have you seen The Fabelmans? You didn't mention it on your list, but I assumed you'd seen it.
So I was going over my list today, and when I was in LA with my friend, he was watching all the movies that were coming out before the Oscars. This was the year The Fabelmans came out. And he was watching it at like 3 a.m. And I was dozing in and out, like watching it with him. And then I put that I watched it because I was like, yeah, I remember it. And then as I'm doing my list, I go, I don't think I watched that movie. I can't remember a fucking thing about it. And I realized I was sleeping probably for like an hour and a half of it. But I just, in my head, I was like, yeah, I was awake. So I actually didn't really watch it. So I took it off my list. But I've had it on my list for a while.
All right. Well, you should rewatch it. It's a really good movie.
Yeah, I should rewatch half an hour of it and then watch the actual rest of it for the first time.
All right. Well, last thing I want to ask you is, what are 3 Spielberg movies that you haven't seen the 3 that you want to see the most?
Well, I started Catch Me If You Can, and I got 20 minutes into it and was so incredibly bored that I turned it off. That was like 2 weeks ago. So I do want to just like get through it because I've seen clips of it and it looks really good, but I think it starts off so slow that I'm so bored. And
You got
slow doesn't
the
automatically mean
TikTok
bored.
attention. Yeah.
No, but Disclosure Day starts off slow, and I was into it. Catch Me If You Can is not interesting.
I'm not going to super
beginning.
judge you because, like I said, I haven't seen it in like 16 years, but I'm pretty sure that it's to turn it off after 20 minutes.
I'd say that, and I'd say Saving Private Ryan, and like as much as I want to say Schindler's List because everyone loves it, I want something more fun. I think. Like I don't know.
You've already seen all the fun ones.
Yeah, probably. So maybe Schindler's List just because everyone thinks it's peak.
Yeah. I mean, all right. The three I'd pick. I mean, I don't want to even say Catch Me If You Can because, like I said, I have technically seen it, but
Sure.
like I do want to see it again. So I'll do three that I definitely haven't seen. I've never seen AI. I would love to see that one. That seems really good. I've never seen Munich, the movie that he made, with Daniel Craig about the Olympic situation. I never saw that. And then I'm going to say something that no one else would ever say. His first ever movie, The Sugarland Express, that he made back in 1974. I've never seen it. Yeah, well, I've never seen it. That actually was his first collaboration with John Williams. Wow, that's really cool. Yeah, I've never seen it. I would love to see that.
I think I'd trade Schindler's List actually for Minority Report.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't trade it for Schindler's List, but like Minority Report. I'm surprised you haven't seen it. It's Tom Cruise and Steven Spielberg, and you've seen War of the Worlds.
I have seen War of the Worlds, yeah.
And I think Minority Report is better. I have Minority Report at 12 and War of the Worlds at 15.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to move on?
Yeah, sure. Let's move on.
Let's talk some Spider-Noir. We're gonna give I'm gonna go first because you went first for that. We're gonna give our ratings and spoiler review for Spider-Noir. I give it 8 mutant freaks out of 10.
I give Spider-Noir 9 offices rated out of 10.
It was a great surprise. It was a really fun surprise. I'm very happy that they made this.
I don't even know if a surprise is the right word anymore for me though with the show. Because like when it was announced, it was a surprise. But the trailer, like with the trailers, I was like, this looks sick. And then I thought it really paid off very well. I thought it looked really cool. Obviously, you could watch it in black and white or in color. I watched it in black and white.
We both went black and white for the full
the
show.
Authentic way, I think. And I think that worked better because it looked nice with the color. Like I saw stills. But the black and white made it feel authentic to the tone that it was portraying and the time period. And I thought it was really fun. I thought it was a unique spin on these characters, on these villains. Yeah. Obviously with Electro and Lizard and Sandman, like, kind of the...
Dude, I thought it was Electro. His name is Megawatt.
Right, but isn't it like, I mean, the name is different because they can't call them these names. I was surprised they called him Sandman.
No, those are different comic characters. Megawatt's a real character, and it's Tombstone.
What the fuck they call it? What do you mean it's Tombstone? Who's Tombstone?
The guy, like Lonnie.
His name is Tombstone?
Yeah.
He looks like a goddamn fucking lizard.
I know. Tombstone's gonna be in Spider-Man Brand New Day too.
This fucking
Lonnie Lincoln is Tombstone. I knew who Tombstone was, and obviously knew who Sandman was. I'd never heard of Megawatt before. I thought it was Electro, and they kept calling him whatever his fucking name was. And I looked it up.
Well, I assumed they couldn't call him because it's not Sony. No, they could.
That's a real Marvel character. And the Spider. Megawatt.
All right, well, that's stupid. I thought it was, I liked it. I liked it more when it was Electro, but they couldn't call him Electro.
Yeah, like I would prefer. I mean, if you're gonna do Spider-Man,
that's why they don't call him Spider-Man. They call him the Spider.
Yeah,
they can't call him Spider-Man, and so I kind of liked that.
And they use Sandman, off-brand. So I was like, okay,
that's why I thought that was weird. I was like, why are they calling him, Sandman, and they're not calling them Lizard and Electro? And then I find out one is Megawatt. Now I find out one is Megawatt, and the other one's not even. He's fucking Tombstone.
Yeah, he was not like a lizard.
They made him look like a lizard though. He straight up looked like kind of like a weird humanoid lizard.
I wonder what his ability would look like if it was in color, because Tombstone's skin is gray in the comic. It's like grayish, gray and white in the movies and the comics and stuff like that. So I wonder if his thing would have been gray, and then maybe that would have made it easier. I don't fucking know.
I don't know. I think
Either way, it's a good show. I mean,
that
I
annoys
like
me a little bit.
I
That annoys me.
You know what? I'm at an 8 because I thought the first episode was really strong, and then actually like episodes 2, 3, probably just 2 and 3 kind of lost me, and I was like bored. And then like whatever episode it was where you see him get bit by the Spider-Man guy, I think it was 4 or 5. That's when I was like brought back, and then the rest of it was great. So I got lost a
That
little
was
bit in the
episode
middle.
5.
So then I got 2, 3, and 4 kind of lost me. I wasn't super interested in the stuff with like the cat lady or whatever the fuck her name is. Cat Hardy. I was not really invested in that, but paid off at the end.
But the thing because it was more of the mystery. It was the noir side of the show. You know?
I just got bored of her. I think.
I don't know. I was into it. I loved her character. I thought Lee Jun Lee was really good. And I don't know. I get that, but I loved it. I thought it was a really good contrast for, what we got in the second half of the series. And it worked very well for Ben Reilly's character in terms of him, and his arc where he's trying to run away from being the Spider, which I thought was a really good kind of interpersonal conflict for him to go through in this series. And I thought Nicolas Cage, did that very, very well. I don't know, man. This show really worked for me. I thought it was like, I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I would love to eventually go back and watch it in color, but I do think I'm confident I would enjoy it more as the black and white version.
Yeah, I mean, I think I saw Nicolas Cage say like that's what it was meant to be. Like that's even the way they act. He was like, we were acting like we were black and white. Like the way they talk is so. I can't believe people actually talk like that. Like, see, we got to get into the paper and then we can expose them. Like, when did people stop talking like that?
They're like kind of like mid-Atlantic accent,
people don't talk like that anymore. Like, what happened?
Well,
I think it's when people stopped wearing hats. Like, everybody in the show wears a hat, even the women, like men, women. Everybody's wearing hats.
Voices, it's evolution. It's just the change of, peoples and human nature. I don't know. That was basically the last time the Knicks won a championship too. By the way, so I haven't mentioned that yet. Was when Spider-Noir took place. But no, I thought that it was it was all really well done with the accents and the set production to kind of transport you back to that. And I think it was like 1933 or something like that.
I think Lamorne Morris was great as Robbie.
Fantastic.
He was so good.
He was awesome. Brendan Gleeson was great as Silvermane.
Mad Eye Moody, baby. Yeah, sick.
He was really he fit this world very well. Like everyone, I thought the way it was cast really was just fitting for this world. Like Lee Jun Lee, Lamorne Morris,
like they belonged there.
Brendan Gleeson, like everyone belonged at this time in this place.
Because sometimes you watch a period piece and you're like, dude, that's fucking Tom Holland, like you're like, dude, that's not...
like that's the funny thing about the Odyssey, where the whole time I'm like am wondering that, where I'm like, I mean, it's Tom Holland, but also it's like a mythological film. It's not historical in the way. I mean, Spider-Noir is fantastical, but it's not mythological.
It's so pretty grounded. I don't know. I mean, crazy as it is.
Which is the point, which is why I don't mind the beginning, because it's supposed to be this kind of, detective, like 30s noir kind of inspired show. And then it obviously blends in these Spider-Man world elements, but off-brand for both outside of the show legal reasons, but also in-world, like different time, kind of just like things are slightly off. Like it's the 1930s. They don't call him Spider-Man. They call him the Spider. You know what I mean? Like you can kind of justify it as a different time kind of thing. So I thought that all worked very tremendously well for this show. And I was super entertained and I loved it. And it is definitely in the top half of my favorite shows of 2026 so far.
It was really, I liked it a little less than you, but I gave it an 8 out of 10. So, I think we're going to get a season 2, hopefully. I mean,
I'd be okay either way. I mean,
I was gonna say they end it in the perfect way where it's like, if this was the series finale, totally fine with that. There's no cliffhanger. It's like him.
It's wrapped up. Yeah.
Exactly. He is like discovering who he needs to be, and you can assume what happens next. But if we get a season 2, fuck it. I would love that.
Yeah, solving another mystery.
Yeah,
that something like that. I'm very open minded for sure.
Me too.
All right. Well, I mean, that's
Yeah,
Spider-Noir.
quick. Dude, we're quick with that shit.
That was a fun one. Yeah, well, we took more time with Spielberg, but Spielberg commands the time. Really.
Oh yeah, as we should.
Like, he is Steven Spielberg. I mean, I get it, it's Nicolas Cage, but like, he is Steven Spielberg.
There's no
That's the
comparison.
royalty.
Yeah.
That's the Jalen Brunson right there.
Dude, Spielberg's. I think Nicolas Cage might be the Jalen Brunson, and Spielberg's the fucking Michael Jordan.
Yeah, that's true.
Because Spider-Noir was better than
true.
Disclosure Day, in my opinion.
That's I mean, in my opinion, it was too. But like,
yeah. But overall,
most of the films that we named on his films, yeah. And I mean, I'm pretty sure they've done a film together before, right?
I don't know. That'd be a good crossover.
No way they haven't. Maybe they have not. That would be pretty crazy.
Your
Face Off was John Woo. I can't believe that would have never happened at least once.
Maybe Spielberg directed Ghost Rider, starring Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, imagine.
Would have been better.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, yeah. They've never done one. Well,
so you got one final review coming.
Yeah, all right. So real quick, just going to spend a few minutes talking about the final season and the show overall. Hacks on HBO Max, full series now, streaming. And this will be a spoiler review. No, you might want to watch this actually, right?
Maybe you could do spoilers if they're like not, this character dies, this is how it ends. You know what I mean? Like I'm fine with spoilers if you say, oh, Danny cheats on his wife. I don't know who the fuck Danny is, so it's fine. I'm not gonna remember by the time I watch this.
Will.
But if you say the show ends with the main character getting shot and his head blown off, I'm gonna remember that.
I was kind of rooting for that one actually.
So keep it light, but you can do spoilers.
Potentially light spoilers ahead. There might not even be. So best warning is potentially light spoilers ahead for Hacks season 5 and Hacks as a whole. This is wholeheartedly a 10 out of 10 show. And I give the final season the rare 10 out of 10 rating.
Wow.
And I give shows 10 out of 10 ratings. I've done it. And usually a couple every year. I mean,
yeah.
Every year there's usually a couple, I would say, right? It's a 10 out of 10 show. I mean, this is such an incredible show. And over the course of these 5 seasons, which concludes in this final season, is seeing the development of this relationship between Deborah Vance and Ava Daniels. And I don't know, Jack, if you really know what Hacks is about, but just
FBI
so
agent?
you get...
Oh, no, wait. I'm thinking of the Mark Ruffalo show, Task. That's what I'm thinking of.
Dog, what?
You said Hacks, I was like, oh, Task.
What?
Wait, that's what I was thinking. Every time you said Hacks today, I was like, oh, that's the Mark Ruffalo show on HBO. Because that's also on HBO.
So, dude, first of all, there's 1 season of that show.
That's why when you said there was 5, I was like, holy shit, how long has the show been out?
And I've seen that show a while ago, and I think we talked about it when they came out. I think we did.
All right, so I don't know what Hacks is about. It's like, is it the one with the comedian?
Yeah, dude, that was hilarious.
That's what it is.
All right, Hacks with Gene Smart and Hannah Einbinder.
Okay, I don't know who either of those people are.
Did you see Babylon by any chance? The movie Babylon? All right. Fucking don't even know what Barbra Streisand is. What am I doing here?
Margot Robbie and Tobey Maguire in that. If you said that, I would have known.
Yes, Barbie and Spider-Man are in that movie.
Exactly.
There you go. No, okay. All right. Basically, Hacks is about like a washed up stand-up comic who's very famous, but just, doesn't really have good jokes anymore, and a up-and-coming comic writer, and they have the same manager, and the manager is desperate to get both of them work. So in a last-ditch attempt, he pairs them together as like a duo. Okay. And it's kind of the course of the show follows their relationship as, Deborah Vance, who is Gene Smart, the older the comic, and or Hannah Einbinder, who plays Ava Daniels, is the writer. And their relationship goes up and down from, kind of not liking each other to not respecting to respecting to liking to it's a bumpy journey, and such a beautiful story told about this like friendship in the unlikeliest of places, the crossing of generations, filling in those gaps, between teaching young people, like, up and coming, how to work the world, and the young generations teaching older people, like, you know, how to be better people in a way. Like, they're kind of both making each other better people, actually, with their wisdom, with their knowledge, with their humor. And it really culminates in this final season in such a beautiful way where you see, you know, in a sense, Deborah and Ava kind of like in their truest sense of friendship, navigating everything's that had gone down with, having a Vegas residency, having a late night talk show, like all the adventures over the course of the series that they go on, um, as partners, but ultimately as friends. It really just makes for such inspiring, funny, and emotional television. And it's such an easy watch, and the performances are so incredible, and there's just such an understanding of these characters. And the rest of the cast is great too. One of the creators of the whole series, Paul Downs, plays Jimmy, the manager, so a pretty major role in the show. And he
Yeah.
has a whole like storyline with his assistant, his annoying assistant, and they eventually they go on and they're like trying to be business partners, and it's about their dynamics, and it's really, again, just these themes and these ideas of like two people who are complete opposites finding friendship and shared work, I guess, in the same place, and the growth that they go on. It's beautiful stuff. It has been one of my favorite shows over the last several years to watch, every week when they come out with a new episode. And I'm gonna miss this one. Like, this was such a comfort show.
Is every season a 10 out of 10? Or because I feel like every show has, even every show that's amazing. Invincible is my favorite show of all time, but almost everyone agrees that season 2 is a step down from the rest of the show. Is there a season that kind of stands out like that?
In season 2, it must be the second season, the sophomore slump. Season 1 is near a 10 out of 10. It's probably like a 9.7 or something. Season 2 is probably more like an 8 something. It is a really good
Okay,
season
so
of
still
television.
good. Yeah, like Invincible is still good, but it is
right, and
visibly not so much as the others.
But like then 3. Yeah, I would say the 10 out of 10s are 4 and 5. Like the last 2 seasons, the show is like operating on all cylinders, like on the next level.
Wow, what a rarity.
One is a great first season. 3 is still a really good season. Like a 9, and 2 is still a good season.
Yeah, and 8 is great. But that's so rare that a show, nowadays at least, that a show is ending properly and had a 10 out of 10 ending. That's awesome.
I completely agree. And even the last episode, when it's like, and I'm not going to talk about it specifically because, I don't want to spoil it. But even like the last episode, what they're kind of doing there, it's almost like shocking, almost doesn't feel like they would actually do that for the end of this show. But then you really kind of see what they're doing in that final episode, which is just displaying the relationship between Deborah Vance and Ava Daniels at its purest form, in its simplest form, in that final episode, and all the context surrounding it kind of just is like whatever. And then it goes in yet another direction where you're like, okay. And it's such an inspiring finish. And so I really think they nail the ending for where the characters have justice. They have been through a lot. Are they at their highest? Are they all at their highest? No, maybe not from a professional standpoint.
Not at their highest, bro. They're not smoking this shit.
They're not smoking that shit. But they are, all of them, a more fully realized version of themselves. And so it is just such a remarkable journey to see them go on over these 5 seasons. Of course, all the supporting characters and Marcus and all of everybody else in the cast. Like there's a lot of great stuff that they do and where they take the story. And like when we come to the end of the year, this is going to be one of my top shows of the year. And when I just talk about shows in general, this is always going to be in the conversation. It's not my favorite show of all time, but it it's not one that's as concerned with being super cinematic and super dramatic and all this. It is funny. It's hybrid. It's funny. It has emotion, but it blends all of this in just such a natural and holistic way. You know, like it just feels good to take it in the chunks rather than, you know, these focus on every technical detail that other shows have, that are still really good. It's not even a fault, it's just different. And so Hacks really is a one of one show. I highly recommend it to everybody out there,
Yeah, I
because
definitely gotta see it.
it's a great journey. It is a great journey to follow on. I loved it. I absolutely love this show.
See, I knew you liked it, and I didn't know you loved it as much as like saying the last two seasons are 10 is great, man. That's pretty convincing.
I think any flaw anyone would have in the last 2 seasons is the most minor of nitpicks. I'm sure you can nitpick
which I could
anything.
find. Yeah,
you will, I'm sure, find it. You are the nitpicker out of the two of us, I would say.
Yeah.
Nothing's perfect. Like, even when I say 10 out of 10, I don't believe anything is ever perfect.
No,
but
it's as close
this show just gets this show. It's a show that never loses sight of what it's about and who its characters are, which I think is very important. I think that sometimes shows that's what they lose sight of. They forget, like, who their characters really are and what this show is supposed to be about. Hacks never loses sight of that. Through its 5 seasons, it understands who Deborah is, who Ava is, and what they mean to one another and how they would operate in the world. And they get the endings that make the most sense, that they deserve as characters. And the show as a whole just makes for some really incredible television. Proof that there's a lot of great TV out there. We talk a lot more about the superhero shows because those are the ones that we share in watching, like Spider-Noir or Daredevil or Invincible. But there's a lot of other great shows out there that I think people should see that don't get enough attention. Hacks is an Emmy-winning show, but still, Hacks should be watched. A 10 out of 10 show overall. Like, there are faults. 10 out of 10 show. I love it.
Hell yeah, man. Let's see Saw. Let's see some Saws, bitch.
Let's do it. Why don't you go first? We've just been trading. Poor old Marty and Willie have just been not put to work. They're on the unemployment line right now.
It's been even today, so like we don't need them.
They got voted out of work.
Something that I want to see is the movie. I think it comes out in August. I would say August 7th, maybe, is The Invite, new A24 movie.
You fucking way you took my fucking C. Oh
no,
my god,
really? Well, I won't say too much.
C this week.
No,
go ahead. There's other stuff. Go ahead.
Because I do want to see The Invite, and you could jump in on this because it looks great, dude. Seth Rogen, Edward Norton. Is it Olivia Wilde? Is she? No,
yeah,
her.
No. It's Seth Rogen, Edward Norton, Olivia Wilde, and Penelope Cruz.
Penelope Cruz too. Yeah, great cast. Looks super awkward and funny, like that kind of awkward humor. And it looks so weird and strange.
I'm very excited to see the dynamics between these two these 4 characters. You know,
and I know it's not going to be anything like the drama, but the way they're not giving us really too much about what's really going on gives me drama vibes. Like, I know I'll be shocked when something is revealed, or I will be surprised or pleasantly, happily surprised when something gets revealed. I just know going into this that we don't know as much as we should, or not should, but as much as they know. So I'm very excited about The Invite. And what I saw is I grinded out. That's why I had to watch a lot of Spider-Noir today, because this week I grinded out both seasons of the 4 seasons on Netflix. Tina Fey, Will Forte, Coleman Domingo, Steve Carell. Have you seen that show at all?
What show is this again?
The 4 seasons.
No, I've never seen it. I've heard of it.
Season 2 just came out like a week ago.
Okay, yeah.
But it's quick. It's 8 25-minute episodes per season, so it's 2 seasons. I literally finished the entire season in 2 days, and I watched both seasons. Great show. And season 3 today was confirmed. So if you want a show that you can watch in like 3 or 4 days and it's entertaining, dude, Coleman Domingo is fucking great in this show. Like, everyone's good. There's a lot of emotion, a lot of comedy, but Coleman Domingo, we all know him as like a really great dramatic actor, but he's hilarious in this show. Coleman Domingo is so funny in this. And Tina Fey, of course, and Will Forte are always great, and Steve Carell and all these actors and whatever. But Coleman Domingo is such a standout in this, and this show made me love him even more. So go watch the 4 seasons. I recommend it to you, Josh. Quick watch, and season 3 was just confirmed today, so it's gonna be great.
I love Coleman Domingo. I mean, I love all of them, but I love Coleman Domingo.
Dude, he is so good in it. Like you'll shit your fucking pants.
So okay, you stole my C, so I'm gonna do something different. I know what I'm gonna do. I didn't really watch a lot this past week because of the Knicks and just, I mean, you got the Stanley Cup final and all.
The Knicks.
It really was. I saw the Knicks win a championship, and I want to see the Knicks win another championship. No, I want to see the parade. Really, that'd be cool. But anyway, so both my C and my saw are kind of blended C's and saws. You'll see.
Sure.
So the one that's the C that I'm replacing the invite with is the new Apple TV show Cape Fear. I've only seen the first episode so far. I finally watched it.
Didn't even know
it's already coming out right now, weekly.
Wow.
It's with Amy Adams and Javier Bardem and Patrick Wilson. And so far, I really like it. I've seen the well, it's not the original film. I saw the famous one, the Martin Scorsese film, with Robert De Niro. I love that movie. It's so good. One of Marty's best. I've never seen the original one from like the 50s or 60s, but I want to see it. I heard it's really good too. I love this story, and this was like really tense. It was more tense than I expected it to be, honestly, in this first episode, really building up to Max Cady, which is Bardem's character. It's the show is basically about a guy who gets out of prison and comes back to his lawyer, and like he's crazy, and I don't want to give anything else away.
Yeah, I didn't know it was coming out. I'm gonna watch it. Like,
that's what the story is. So I've watched the first episode. I want to see the rest of that. Like I want to watch more. My Saw is a show I'm still in the middle of as well, but I'm much further along in. So it's on the second half of the Saw.
Yeah, it's on the Saw side.
It's on the Saw side of the seesaw, and that's the other Apple TV show that's been a hit, Widow's Bay. I've been watching Widow's Bay. I've seen like 5 or 6 episodes now.
I didn't know that came out either.
Matthew Rhys, and that show is fucking phenomenal. I've only seen 1 episode of Cape Fear, to be fair, but so far, if I had to choose, it would be Widow's Bay. I'm addicted to this show. It is so good. It is the next big Apple TV hit. I have so much fun with it. It is funny. It has its moments of thrill and suspense and horror.
It's currently coming out?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much all out. I think the season finale is coming out this week, actually.
Damn, I'm gonna hop on that before Cape Fear then.
Season and not series, because it's renewed for a season 2 officially at Apple TV. I think Widow's Bay is the new big show. Like we talk about Ted Lasso, we talk about Severance and The Studio. This is the next one. It feels to me it's kind of like a Mike Flanagan show. Like I get kind of Mike Flanagan vibes a bit, especially Midnight Mass. I mean, so far I liked Midnight Mass more than this, but this is up there, and it gives me the same vibes of like, On an Island, kind of religious or superstitious, kind of a weird people, an outsider, all that, classic stuff. Gives off the same tone. Widow's Bay is so fucking good. You gotta watch it. I think you would.
I think I will.
I don't know. I think you'd really like it.
And when the finale comes out, we can review the season.
Well, I don't know if I'll be. I mean, the finale comes out this week, so I don't think we'll. Are you gonna be done with it in a week?
Was it 6 episodes?
It's like no, I think it's like 10.
Oh, maybe
like
not.
30
but
to
when
40
we both
minutes
finish it, maybe if you don't finish it this week, maybe by next week we would do it.
Yeah, I mean, there's in the next few weeks we can definitely review it.
Yeah.
So that's my seesaw, or my saucy, however you want to look at it.
Well, that was your saucy, seesaw, saucy.
It's all the same thing to this week. It's a saucy seesaw.
Sounds like we just had strokes. Well, thank you guys for watching another episode, 60th episode. Good shit, bro. Follow us on all socials at Box Office Dynasty. We're on TikTok, Instagram. Dude, that Instagram clip is like blowing up. It's doing really well.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, wherever the fuck you can watch podcasts or clips. That's where we are at Box Office Dynasty. Yeah. Sure. What else we got?
Comment Bible study numbers next week. Jack and I will be reviewing our 20th Bible study film,
Yes.
Daughters of the Dust. So we will be giving our full in-depth review on that film next week. Comment more numbers, and the next film could be the one that you gave us, and it'll almost definitely be better than The Shooting Party, which sucks.
Ass.
And let's fucking go Knicks in 5, baby. I there's only one way to end this episode, man. And that's fuck Wemby. Fuck Wemby, man.
Fuck Wemby, Knicks in 5.
Knicks in 5.